Have you ever been a part of a team where everyone is working hard, but somehow nothing comes together? That is usually not a talent problem. It's a communication problem. You know, when a team talks well, magic happens. Deadlines get met, ideas flow, and even challenges start to feel like shared adventures instead of them feeling like personal battles. Today, I want to explore with you how communication can transform good teams into great teams with real stories that you will never forget. Why is communication the glue of teamwork? A team is much like an orchestra. You can have a talented violinist, the best pianist, a drummer that has perfect timing. But without a conductor to keep these together and in sync, what would get produced is just noise. Communication is that conductor. Clear, open, and consistent communication ensures that everyone knows what are the goals, what is their role, and how does their work connect to the bigger picture. I want to do 3 ways that can show you that communication improves teamwork. The first is communication aligns goals and expectations. You know, a team fails when all of its members are rowing in different directions. Communication ensures perfect timing towards the same destination. So it syncs a team towards a worthy goal. I once worked with a project team where half the team thought that the priority was the speed of completing the project. The other half of the team thought that quality was more important when the project's completion happened. You know what happened? Deadlines slipped, tempers flared, because the priorities were 2 different priorities. One was looking at speed, the other was looking at quality. And then the leader of the team decided to have one meeting. And in the meeting, it was only a 20-minute meeting. In that meeting, he clarified the priority. And suddenly, the whole team realized the goal and everything started moving smoothly. You know, communication is like the GPS of a car. You may have the best car, you may have the best driver, but if the destination is not chalked out, all you are doing is burning fuel. The second one, communication builds trust and openness. When teammates share openly about their progress, about their problems, about their ideas, it creates an environment where trust grows. And trust is the foundation of teamwork. Let me give you an example. A tech startup that I was advising had a rule. Every Monday, each team member would share one win and one struggle. It wasn't about complaining. It was about transparency. This openness meant a lot. Issues were spotted early. Solutions came faster because everybody was working towards the common goal. You can think of it like trust is a rope bridge. I often use this metaphor. Every honest conversation is one plank of that rope bridge. Without enough of planks, that bridge is rope. It's not a bridge. Communication resolves conflicts quickly. Conflicts are inevitable in every team, but with communication, they become stepping stones instead of roadblocks and speed breakers. Let me tell you a story of a team that my husband was coaching. There were 2 players that were constantly clashing over playing styles. Instead of letting it simmer, we sat the 2 players down and each one was made to express his perspective. When they sat and spoke, it turns out that both of them had the same goal. It was to win. But they were just using 2 different paths to reach to the goal. Once they understood each other, teamwork really improved. You can just imagine what happened to the team. Communication in teamwork is like you trying to untangle a knot. If you keep pulling at it without talking, the knot only tightens. Communication loosens that knot. Now I'm giving you a framework on how you can communicate for better teamwork. And to give you the framework, I have use the acronym TEAM. TEAM. These are 4 principles that you should use while dealing with team communication. T stands for transparency. Share the progress as well as the problems early because everybody has the vision. E stands for empathy, means listen in order to understand, not to reply. A stands for alignment. Prioritize your goal because you will have seen through this whole video that I made that the prioritizing of the goal was not there. The communication was lacking, and so the alignment was not there. And the last is M, which is mutual respect. Here, you need to value every voice, even the ones that are quiet. Understand, if you follow these 4 principles, transparency, E for empathy, A for alignment, M for mutual respect, you can turn any group of individuals into a high-performing team. In conclusion, let me give you a visual metaphor. Picture a rowing team, perfectly in sync. Oars hitting the water together, boat gliding forward with almost no splash. That's what well-communicating teams look like. It's not about one person rowing harder, but it's about everybody rowing together. This week, if you are on a team, I want you to start one conversation that brings clarity, that builds trust, or that resolves a tension. Remember, it's small communications that lead to big teamwork wins. If this video helped you to look at teamwork differently, I want you to hit the like button and I want you to subscribe to the channel because I'm going to make a lot of content with tips on communication, on how to build confidence as well as collaboration. Hit the subscribe button.